Thank you. Thank you very much for your introduction. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really happy to be here again. For Steel Conference globally, all people talking about China. And I really want to know, what do you really understand China? And really different culture, different way of thinking. So I travel around the world, try my best to tell the people what we're thinking, what we thinking our problem, what we're thinking the way out. So that's why I'm coming again to talking about China still again and again, and I really hope to give you the clear picture and what we're thinking and what's the real situation in China. So, and we prepared the presentation. The conference has given me the four area to be discussed in the conference. So for the, of course, we also have to cover the outlook of China steel market and also raw material and the long products. The second about the overcapacity and the environmental issues, and also people worry about the environmental issues in China. And then the third one is about China steel export. Will continue or not? And what will be the next situation? And finally, and the so tough situation. And what's the future of China steel industries? That's my major talk of today. So first of all, I will go to the outlook of China steel market. What's the consumption? What's the production in China? So I think maybe you know the picture before, and this picture show you the consumption in China during the past more than 30 years. You can see from the picture from the 1980 to the 2000, with the fast development of the China economy, especially China opened the door to the outside world. China economy grew up and gave the market room for China steel industry to grow, consumption to increase. And you can see the big change is from the year 2001 to 2014. And what's the reason give so fast increase of consumption? And the major reason is China joined into the World Trade Organization, which give China much more opportunity, much more room to develop for the whole economy. So which give China domestic market for steel market much more to develop. And yes, we cannot keep the faster increase continuously. And last year, in the year 2015, the local consumption not increased, but decreased. Last year, the local consumption is about 646, decreased about 5.4% year on year. And during the first 7 months this year, the local consumption still decreased. According to our research, is about decreased about 3.6%. So this is the low China domestic market steel consumption situation. So, and of course, the production will follow the consumption. So a lot of people talking about the China steel production too much, because most of the products consumption locally. And of course, I'm sure in human history, no other country can repeat this story of steel industry development. You can see in the year 2000, China's steel production is only about 128 million tons. Currently, we produce about 800 million tons. It increased very fast. And what's the reason behind the China's steel production developed so fast? It's local market. Local market. So, yes, we cannot continuously increase our production because the consumption changing from increase to decrease. So you can see the China steel production decreased last year. Last year decreased about 2.3%. And during the first 8 months of this year, the China steel production decreased only 0.1%. According to our study and research, we think that this year the China steel production will continue decrease, cannot increase. So that's the general situation. And of course, China is really a big country. Different provinces have different situation. So you cannot look China a really a big picture, same situation, same condition. Even in Europe, so you different country have a different situation. And that's why the Western country people cannot really understand China's situation. For steel industries, you can see in the picture, we have 2 provinces. Their steel production over 100 million tons. One is Hebei province near Beijing. So their capacity roughly in one province about 300 million tons. Their production roughly about 200 million tons, only in one province. Another province in Jiangsu province, near the Yangtze River area, so their production is also over 100 million tons. In China, there are 2 provinces, their production over 1 million tons. Even the consumption decrease, even the total production decrease in the whole country, but the 2 provinces production still increased because they have their advantage, they have their competitiveness, they have their market. So that's not easy for China to just say you stop your production. Not so easy. That's why I repeat again, China really total market-oriented economy. It's a diameter you accept it or not. So I'm very sorry and hear a lot of story. Oh, European don't recognize China as a market economy. Doesn't matter. So we should follow the World Trade Organization. We think we follow it, but because you don't understand China, you just read some story from people, it's not a real story. And of course, some provinces increase the production, some decrease. Why? Market-oriented. We have more than 10 provinces decrease their production, especially in Xinchuang autonomous regions. Last year decreased their production about 40%. Why? No market. So I'm sorry, and I really hope don't view China as your simple from newspaper. Real, I ask the organizer, really hope you organize your people visit China. Just don't judge China by the paper, So, what's the future? We do a lot of research. We do the forecast for the year 2030. What's the picture of the local steel market consumption? So, as I repeated, in the first picture, we passed the peak of the consumption. Also, we passed the peak of production. From the increase of consumption to the downside. So, I'm sure China's steel market will decrease step by step. And even in the year 2030, the decrease will roughly about 30%. compared with current level. Even at the year 2030, China's steel consumption also very large volume, roughly about 500 million tons. 500 million tons. So I'm thinking China is the center of world steel production, world steel consumption for long term. That's the real situation. So of course, we have a lot of problem. I will tell later. We try our best to solve our problem. Nobody can help us. So that's the real situation. So, and because China is about 50% of the world total production, the change in China will change globally. I'm sure with the increase of China's steel industry, the world steel industry changing greatly. That's the market situation in the future, of course. And the people also asked me to talk some on what's the advantage of China steel industry. One very important is the raw material. What's the raw material? Last year, China imported about 950 million tons of iron ore from other country. And the first 8 months of the year, China imported roughly about 670 million tons iron ore from other country. Still keep increase about the 9.3%. Why? At the same time, local iron ore production decreased about 6.7%. What's the reason? Because the big mining companies, especially the big 4 mining companies, try their best to increase their efficiency, to lower their cost, to take more market share. Especially for example, the FMG, the number 4 iron ore producer. Their C1 production, the cost decreased to $13 per ton. $13 per ton. Much high efficiency, much high competitiveness. Who benefits? Because most of the iron ore imported to China. So that's why China steel producer have much more competitive than other countries. Because the benefit of the mining industry, most get to China steel industries. And of course, besides the big four still increase their capacity. So I'm sure the oversupply of the iron ore will continuously. Besides the big four, there are still some other mining companies still try the best to increase their capacity. So which will give the iron ore price continually much good news for China steel industries, And of course, this picture I want to show you where the iron ore product comes from. Currently, the market share from Australia and Brazil is about 60%, because they really have the advantage in mining industries. So they still increase their production. And roughly 85% of China imports them from Australia and Brazil. So which give China steel industry a lot advantage than any other countries. So this is our forecast of the iron ore price. So this year we can see the price in fluctuating between $40 to $6. Today, in China's CF price only about 56 US dollar per ton. So, and of course, during the next few years, a little increase, but not too much. So, because the much more serious for the overcapacity in iron market, So I'm thinking which will give much more advantage for China's steel industry, because China's steel production depends more than 90% for iron ore. Only 60% depend roughly from the EAF production. So that's why a lot of people don't understand why China's steel industry can so strong competitiveness. Because raw material is one thing. Of course, we also increase our efficiency, increase our quality, increase our service. So make Chinese steel industry much more competitive than other countries. Okay, for today's conference, people care more about the long products. Here I give you a few numbers. So last year, China's rebar consumption roughly about 200 million tons last year. And it's a decrease about 3.5%. I want to repeat again. The rebar consumption, big number, but a decrease. And because of the overcapacity of the housing in China, and also we encourage more steel structure building. So in the future, according to our research, in the year 2020, the rebar consumption will be decreased to 155 million tons. So keep decrease. That's one thing. And for the wire products, last year, in the year 2015, China wire consumption was about 124 million tons for the one. And according to our research, in the year 2020, the wire consumption will decrease to 101 million tons, also decrease. So, but anyhow, the volume decrease, but the quality will be increased step by step. So that's the why. And also we have the special bar for the machinery, automobiles, and the railways, and wind powers. This kind of product is about, last year, about 42 million tons market consumption in China. And in the future, I think still the same level, because the automobile still keep increase. And last year, China's automobile production is over 24 million units. And this year, the China automobile industry still keep increase about 8%. 8%. So the market is still very good. I think the special rebar still have some big market and in China. Also, of course, the quality will improve greatly. And for the long product, we still have because of the HB. And currently, last year, China HB consumption about 11 million tons. 11 million. As I mentioned, China encouraged more steel structure buildings. And in the year 2020, China hot rolling HB will be increased to 16 million tons. Still increase the market shares. Of course, there will be much more improve the qualities. So that's the HBs. Also, of course, we have still railway consumption, because you can see China very fast developing in the railway. So the railway demand roughly about 3 million tons. Still keep the market shares. So this is roughly about China long product market in China. So that's the situation. Of course, now we'll go to the second part about the overcapacity and the environmental issues. And during the first 8 months, the total world steel production is about nearly about 1 billion tons, decreased about 0.9%, of which China produced about 536 million tons, decreasing only 0.1%. And of course, the facility utilization is low level. So as Kim just mentioned, so the world steel capacity utilization much lower than the reasonable levels. So, and why I repeated the picture again? In our understanding, the overcapacity is not only China issues, it's global issues. So we should work together to improve the efficiency, the profits of steel industry, not only talking and not only focus on China issues. And what we do, what the Chinese government do? So this picture I want to show you. Chinese government worked very hard to solve the issues. During the past 5 years, Chinese government eliminated roughly about 90 million tons of outdated facilities. And we have planning during the next 5 years, we will eliminate about 100 to 150 million tons. That's the Chinese government try their best to eliminate the overcapacity. So I don't see any other government do the same story like Chinese government do. I repeat again, overcapacity is a global issue, not only China issues, but not any other government, not any other country do as Chinese government do it. So we think we contribute a lot to the elimination of the overcapacity worldwide. So I'm thinking if we finish this target, the world should thank China for Chinese government contribution, not just complain about China. So I'm sorry. So, and through which way we eliminate the overcapacity? First, through the regulation and law, by the environmental protection regulation, by the energy consumption regulation, by quality standards, by the safety standards, by the technical limited. That means that by the law and regulation to eliminate the outdated facilities. And one way, second, I mentioned again, China really market oriented. So the market competition to push the losing money company out of the market. Third way, we encourage the consolidation by merger and acquisition to improve the efficiency and to, at the same time, to solve the overcapacity. For example, during the past few days, Chinese two big companies, one is the Whisk, one is the Ball Steel, to merge together to have a new company, Ball Steel, which will be over 8 million tons capacity just after the assembly time. But the quality of the products, the technology of the company, the efficiency, I think much better than any other companies. The two companies is a very, very good company in China, also globally. So that's by the consolidation solve the overcapacity. Of course, dealing with the overcapacity is involve a lot of tough issues. The unemployment, the data issues, the stability of the local societies. According to our research, and I think during the past 20 years, European dealing with the overcapacity also pay a lot of efforts. The government give a lot of money to the company, and finally, still not very efficiently to solve the overcapacity in Europe. So I think China still have a long way to go for that. Of course, I want to limit too much about the what's the environment issues. You know, I'm just give you a few pictures, and then that's something we do in China from government to and steel company. And we try our best to improve the environmental, that means to DS, the software of center film, and try type of the dusting of BOF gas and CDQ a lot, and improve the sewage treatment. So we have a really huge investment in the environmental issues, and we really have a very good achievement in the air pollution, water pollution, and solid waste treatment. So, I think our steel companies, steel people, also contribute a lot to the development of society, and we really also have very strict regulation, you can say, and also achieve a good result. You can see the both steel with TISCO, two companies same level with the best company globally. So you can see the figures, and we also have very strict the environmental standards. You can see from here, and the Chinese standard even more serious than Germany, than France, also than Austria. So you can we really try our best to improve the environmental issues. So of course, and because China big country as mentioned in advance, so we have the best steel company. Of course, we still have a lot of small ones that also make pollution. Maybe some people show you, oh, China company will make a lot of pollution. It's not a real picture. A real picture. We just try our best to close the polluting facilities. So that's about the second part. I will go to the third part about China steel export. And yes, people discuss a lot about the issues. I also like to talking with you about the import and export. This picture show you China steel import from the year 1979 to last year. You can see, and before, China imported too much steel from our side, also including a lot from Europe. By the end of the year 2014, China total imported about 600 million tons of steel products from other countries, including Europe, from European, from America, a lot. It's a huge market pushing China make decision to develop steel industries. And of course, we improved quality, efficient, anything. Now we begin to export. Last year, of course, China exported about 112 million tons. And the first 8 months, China still exported about 76.35 million tons, also increased about 6.3%. That's the situation. So we import too much before, now we begin to export. I'm thinking we cannot export just China, just import, not export. No, any country cannot only import, not export. So that's the way of our thinking. And I don't think you agree or not. And where we imported last year we import about more than 10 million tons, most from the neighbor country, from Japan, South Korea, also from China, Taiwan province. And China export also mostly neighbor countries. You can see from the top 8 or neighbor country. Last year, South Korea is the biggest market, and Vienna is the second, so Philippines is the third one. So you can see China export the most in our neighbor countries. That's last year. And this year, the first 7 months, from January to July, you can see the import also from our neighbor, but some from Germany, some from France. Last year, we also imported from some from Sweden. And this year, most of China exported to also neighbor countries. The top 10, no any European country, not any American countries. So I'm thinking the still trade issues is a neighbor country, then that's the thing. But even though we have a lot of trade issues with other countries, and it's a tough situation for us. But anyhow, we have to face it. Last year, there are about 37 cases anti-dumping to Chinese steel products. And the first 9 months, we have roughly about 33 cases. So I want to don't leave too much. This is the case. We study case by case. And this is the case. So for anti-dumping issues, I don't think it's really a good thing. It's not a good thing. Just before, you can see China import from you. Now China export to you. You are not happy. So it's not the good things. But anyhow, we have to face it. And the key issues, why China steel product can keep increase export. I'm thinking we also have 5G. That means good product, good products, good price, good skills, good service. Of course, China steel industry try best to improve the good brand. So if the customer don't accept the export from China, how China can export? How China can export? So according to our research, even we face a lot of trade issues, I think China steel export still will be maintain high level for long term, because we have the advantage at 5G. We still try best to increase our competitiveness. Of course, what's the view of Chinese people thinking about the trade issues? We thinking we should have to positively concern about China international steel trade. So, and according to us, we try our best to meet the customer demand requirement. We also to enhance the competitiveness of the international level to make the customer very happy with steel products. The customer should be very happy. That's one thing. And we should also have to concern about the China international steel trade in all aspects. Why? Because we export not only for one country or few countries. And currently, China steel company have trade relationship with more than 230 countries and regions. Not only a few countries. So we not only export, we still import from some countries. And another issue we have to concern about China international steel trade from historical perspective. That means before we import too much, now we have the ability to export. Why not? Why not? And that's our way of thinking. So especially, we have the ability. And another three issues we're concerned about the integrated manners. So of course, the volume of export too much, but the proportion not too much. Only about 10 to 15%. Not as other country export about 40% of their products. If we judge the overcapacity, then they export about 40% of the products. That's another story. Another story. And we also have to consider China steel in an honest manner. That means I mentioned 5G. We really improve our competitiveness. I think the world should accept it. And I think even in the future development perspective, I think China steel industry and continue improve the quality service, reduce efficiency, and reduce cost. So increase efficiency, reduce cost, and China steel industry will maintain the competitive for long term. Nobody can change it. I'm sure, very sure. Of course, what's the way out for China steel export? And we think we should promote high quality, superior, and special trade export, not reduce the low-end products. Of course, we should actively respond to the trade issues, not just waiting there. We should work together with the customer to trade issues. And also, of course, we still have tried our best to diversify the export. And of course, we should save dependent innovation and improve the optimizations to make a customer much more comfortable. So that's the way we think of the problem. Maybe some different from you, but anyhow, it's really what we think. Because I myself work in the steel area more than 32 years. So I'm based in more than 60 countries. I meet a lot of customers. The customer asked me, Mr. Yi, tell the European steel company, your steel product are still very, very comfortable, welcome. So let's work together for that. So we should work together to formulate a new situation of world steel trade system, not just isolate your country, isolate your European. Don't close your door. You should also open your door. And of course, a lot of people talk new normal of China economy, also no normal of steel industry. Because the weak world economy, we think world steel into a new stage. That means a same level for long term, not increase too much, not decrease too much, not increase as fast as before. That means we're thinking the world steel consumption, world steel production to a stable level for long term. Because the weak world market, weak world economy. The key issue is because China's steel consumption decrease. No any other country can compensate China decline. That's the whole situation globally. And a big issue for China steel structure. As I mentioned, globally, the EAF production dropped about 25% last year. China only 6%. So with the decreased consumption, decrease of production, China EAF production will be increased very fast. So that will also change the structure of China steel industry, maybe the structure of water structure. Of course, for how to deal with the overcapacity, I think it's a long way to go, at least not short term. And of course, it will come with the long term and the process adjustment. And also China will maintain export. And of course, the survival of the system. So that's where competition will push those companies leaving the market. Of course, China steel industry will diversify the operation. The key for in the future for China steel industry, also for the world steel industry, is the innovation. Innovation is the key for steel industry to develop in the future. Currently, we are, because I travel a lot, I think China steel industry much advanced than other countries, also than the company in European, than American. American currently import about 14 million tons of steel production from other countries. Their steel company cannot meet the local market. If European open your market, I think you will import more from other areas. So please do not isolate yourself. So for the China in economy, also for China steel industry, the 4 areas much more important: innovation, the coordination, or of course environment friendly, and open the door, also share the benefit of the world technology. That's the way out. The key for China steel industry, here I especially give you some word about the Chinese compared to the English. So please also learn something from China. From China world, I'm sorry. Not only I speak English, because English is not my mother tongue, maybe not good for me to express myself. So maybe in the future I can speak Chinese here much better. Easy to understand. Yes, while we have conference to make people understand. So what we out for China steel industry? Of course, the environment friendly is a key. We also try to increase the coordination. That means increase the consolidation greatly. Not only Ball Steel and we still have other big company to consolidate, merger and acquisition. Also, of course, we will still try our best to increase the quality and making the standardization to improve the efficiency and of course diversify the differentiation, competition, diversify operation, and to pay more attention to service-oriented. Steel is only a material. If you have your market advantage, you should turn your manufacture to service-oriented. Of course, increase the smart manufacture. Currently we try our best to improve the intelligent manufacturing facility in China steel industries. We still have a few companies do a lot of research for that. If we make some breakthrough, the whole industry will increase our smart and intelligent manufacturing greatly. Then there will be increase the companies much more than before. Of course, the funding, we should work very hard for the internationalization. We open our door. I hope any other country also open a door. If you close, you will be laid out. So don't do that. It's not good for any country. So that's my way of view of China steel. I hope I give you much more clear picture of the thinking. Maybe you cannot agree with me, but we can work together. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.
Mr. Li Xinchuang is one of the most important communicators within the steel industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice and detailed presentation. So, any questions for Mr. Li Xinchuang?
Would you mind speaking slowly? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your detailed presentation. And I noticed that the first part of your presentation was on consumption. And you have shown us that your consumption is going down. In fact, you have mentioned that from January to July, your consumption went down 3.6%. And what's more is your estimate for consumption going down from today's value of 700 million tons to 2030 to 492 million tons. So this must be good news, which is what you're saying. But then you also mentioned about your capacity reduction. Well, you already have a 30% over capacity, if you compare your consumption versus your capacity, okay? Because you mentioned you're working on 70% utilization, so you have 30% over capacity. And I noticed that when you mentioned about reduction of capacity, you were really talking about you are going to lower it down by 100 to 150 million tons, which really will not affect anything because you already have about 30% over capacity. What I noticed that you always not mention is production. I think the key thing is the production. If you're going to bring the production down, then we're going to talk about something. If you just bring the capacity, you'll have overcapacity anyway. You can bring all the way to 30% down. It's not going to make any difference at all, because when you bring your consumption down, actually we're more alarmed, because that means whatever is not going to be consumed is going to come back to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. Thank you very much. And I'm very happy I understand your question. And for the capacity, first I talk capacity. For capacity, we cannot have the full capacity utilization. The reason by maybe 80%, so you cannot mention the 30% over capacity. So that's one, my understanding. And one thing, yes, for the steel industry, yes, the proposal for us is reduce the overcapacity first, control the production second. That's why I told the people here we are market oriented. In the year around 2000, our Premier Zhu Rongji, very strong leader, control production. Because I mentioned different company, different province have their own interest. So nobody want to reduce their production. So the central government at that time in the year around 2000 cut all the company 10% of their production. Make a suffer for good company. Like the low technical company grew very fast. So we suffer a lot to control the production. So this time, we don't put much more to the control the production. So that's why we reduce the capacity, the production increase with the price recover. So it's natural. I think we should understand the capacity of different with the production. I already understand that people here from trade company worry about the price and worry about the supply. It's production. So because we have the hard time to control the production, so this time we don't put too much as to reduce the capacity in the production. That's like the market already did. So it depends on the demand. Of course, we really understand in the future there will be even more overcapacity with the decrease of consumption. I think we have a plan step by step. And the first, this 35-year plan, we reduced roughly about 150 million tons capacity. Maybe the next 5 years, we still continue reducing the capacity. We cannot do immediately. We cannot finish the target one day. So please be patient, my friend.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? Okay.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I just want to make a remark to my very good friend, Mr. Li Xinchuang, is that at a point of your presentation, you said that in Europe, because you mentioned Europe, we just complain about Chinese government not doing anything about overcapacity, and the government here doesn't do anything. That's what you said. And I have to tell you that the governments in Europe, they do two things. One is leaving us on our own way, fighting for our own destiny, so no help at all. And obviously we do that trying to be innovative, trying to give customer service, trying to be intelligent, quality, doing all these things. And the second thing they do is they make sure we pay all our taxes. So they do that as well. So it's just because don't get this concept that because government complain, they don't do nothing. I mean, they make sure to leave us to get to fight for our own destiny, and we have to do it. No way.
Thank you.
The only thing we ask for is a plain and fair market field. That's the only thing we ask for. And again, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you. Maybe we can learn each other, working together, and welcome to China. I treat you, make you fully understand our China situation. Thank you.
Thank you. I have one last question, if you don't mind. My question would be on the futures, actually. Typically, supply and demand, drives the market, and it was the same for Chinese steel industry last year. This year, even our office in Shanghai reported in many occasions that the steel futures markets in China have been driving the physical market too. How do you see this situation? Is it true? What would be your comment?
It's a very complex situation, and the future market in China, I think not mature enough. That's one thing, and it's also dependent on the money policy. Very important related to the money the money policy. So also another thing is maybe a few people like gambling about it. So it's that's why the regulator will try to improve it improve it. And anyhow, as I want to repeat again, even China opened the door to outside just about 38 years. We still have a long way to go. We still learn from the mature market economy, European, American. We still have a lot to learn. And of course, the situation in China is very complicated. We can just not just simple copy. So that's why we like to work with your people together to give it a few picture of people here, people European. Thank you very much. Anyhow, welcome to China.
Thank you very much once again. Let's give a hand to Mr. Xinchuang.